Jump up. Don't leave me standing. Happy birthday to you. You're the best thing alive. Happy birthday, begonia coconut. Today you are 5. Hooray! Blow them out. Blow out the candles. Blow out the candles. I can't do it. Oh, sorry, love. Happy birthday, darling. Happy birthday. Birthday chicken. Cake for mother. Hello everybody, thanks ever so much for tuning in. This week, it's a big celebration. It's a double party week. Firstly, thanks a million. I've just smashed through the 200 subscribers ceiling. It's amazing. I love it. Welcome all the new people. Hello to all the old people. And secondly, and far more importantly, it's Begonia Coconut's birthday. Right on cue. Hi, darling. Happy birthday. Begonia Coconut is 5 this week. Yeah, she is. Oh, my darling. I love you 5 times as much as I did 2 seconds ago. I love you more than life. I love you. I love you. I love you. So this week, I thought what I'd do is tell you a little bit, very briefly, about how I found Begonia and what we do every year on her birthday. She's just having a scratch. I won't show you that. She's got dignity. Yeah, so I found Begonia Coconut stray, wild, growing wild in a garden centre. And I had no intentions of coming home with a cat. I'd only gone out for a plant. But there she was, and there I fell, completely in love. And that was it. She was my daughter now. And every year we celebrate her birthday. But obviously because... What if she's found something in a carry bag? Because she was a wildflower, yes, you, darling, she's looking at me. I don't know exactly her precise birthday, but I've worked it out, and there's no denying it. She's a Valentine's baby. I found it, and I thought she was probably about 6 months old, and I took her to the vets to have her checked out and what have you, see if she was okay. And they said, oh, I think she's about 6 months old. I said, I felt that too. So I worked out from then back 6 months, and the coincidence was just too much to ignore. It turned out that she was probably born on the 14th of February, Valentine's Day, and she's the greatest Valentine's present a human being could ever wish for. Are you, darling? Hello. Hello. Tail. Face. So every year we celebrate her birthday with a little party. 3, 4, and as it's a double celebration, our kid's birthday and 200 subscribers, I thought what I'd do today is show you all my vintage sort of party tea sets and party tableware, all vintage, from the 50s upwards really. I've got some that's not vintage, but it's definitely worth a look. Does that feel good? Oh. Hello. Hello, birthday girl. How old are you? You're 5. 5 years old? Yeah, 5 years old this week. So there we go. I make no apologies for my singing or the state of my voice. That deserved that. I make no apologies for the state of my voice. I am unapologetic in every sense. However, in my defence, it was very, very, very early. I'll just briefly tell you why she's called begonia coconut. I went to this particular garden centre just to grab a plant that I'd seen a few months earlier. It was a sort of a speciality begonia plant. It had huge, twirly, spiral leaves. It was absolutely gorgeous. So I put it off for ages and then I just couldn't live without it. So I went back to the garden centre months later. Obviously, it wasn't there, but it turned out that there was a little stray cat on a cushion. I didn't know she was stray at the time. I thought that she belonged to the garden centre and, was just like part of the team. Look, that's where she was. Oh God. There she is. She was living on the desk under the information board, and after quite a lengthy chat with the ladies who worked there, I found out that she was homeless, a little weed. And that was that. So obviously her name was Begonia, because that's what I went to the garden centre for. And she's a beautiful flower. Yes, she is. But also, she had really skinny legs, and her whole sort of body was a bit ratty and scrappy. And obviously, she's living wild. She was a stray, but she had this sort of round ginger tummy. It was the exact same size and colour as a coconut. So that was that. Begonia coconut. She's gone now. Begonia coconut she became, and she was registered, and it was official. It was legal. She's my daughter, adopted, obviously. However, as we all know, no DNA test required. Clearly of my making. Yes, you. Right then, let's get this show on the road. Let me show you some absolutely blind and fabulous knickknacks. I created a family tradition where every year I surprise her with a birthday cake and add an extra candle. Always the same candles, but with an extra one. And I get rid of the cake for her. I dispose of that safely, and she has chicken. Then we spend the rest of the day playing with her favourite toys, and then she sleeps for the duration. And I just stand there gazing at her like an adoring mother. This year, her birthday fell on a Tuesday, so we could just potter about the house, and I was doing lots of work renovating one of the rooms. That's an epic video to come later. But last year, her birthday on the 14th, Valentine's Day, fell on a Monday. And Monday's the day that I normally run around town doing all the sort of business things I have to do. So I felt a bit guilty that I'd surprised her with a cake, a little poem, a little song, 4 candles. 4 candles, if you're English, will be hilarious to you. If you don't know anything about the 2 Ronnies and the 4 candle story, it's irrelevant. But it was 4 candles, yeah, not handles for forks. Yeah, last year on her 4th, I had to run around, I had to go out and leave her alone on her birthday. I remember that day so clearly. She is an absolute creature of habit, and she'll fall asleep around about 11 in the morning every day. So I thought, right, okay, I'll leave at 11:30, and then she might not notice that I'm gone. She'll be in a coma. She'll be in a post-chicken birthday party coma. And it was absolutely pouring with rain, usual grisly February day. I got into the habit of doing all my essential chores in one hit during lockdown, as everything is sort of conveniently located along one long but very satisfying straight road. There's the post office, the supermarket, the garden centre, DIY shop, and then it's home. And I've sort of stuck to that really now, even though we're not in lockdown anymore. It's very efficient and satisfying. The post office, first, always the most stressful, as there's never any free parking spaces, despite there being absolutely no reason to park there. Seriously, it's hardly a tourist attraction, and there's nothing else there. However, when I pulled in, I found a space in the hottest spot right outside the charity shop next to the post office. It's like gold. It's fire. It never ever happens. And when I opened the car door, I found a mobile phone on the ground next to the passenger door. Oh my God. I took it straight to the charity shop. I know them quite well in there, and I left it with them, hoping the person would come back. I told the shops either side, then went into the post office, where I found a £2 coin on the floor and handed that in too. It only took me about 10 minutes in the post office to do them a bit of business, so that was brilliant. And then I went for a mooch around the charity shop that I dropped the phone off with to have a look at the knickknacks, see if there was anything exciting. And in the 10 minutes I'd been in the post office, the woman who lost the phone had been back and collected it. It's absolutely incredible. And everyone was extremely happy. It turns out that the manageress of the shop recognised the man on the screensaver as her window cleaner, and the lady was his wife. Amazing. I live in absolute fear of losing my phone. I'd be completely undone. And that sort of partially happened a couple of weeks ago, and I'm still slightly rattled by it. So the sort of third-party satisfaction I had from being in some part responsible or, part of the story of her getting her phone back was just like the most enormous relief. Her relief was my relief. It was huge. And she also apparently had kept her bank cards underneath the case. So her relief must have been even huger. I'd never do that. But I suppose that's modern life, isn't it? That's what people do. They put their cards in the back so they can pay for stuff, and it's all there. It's all complete. God, honestly, I would be unraveled. So I felt just relieved, but also quite lucky. I thought, this is amazing. I'm obviously on a bit of a lucky roll. And I wondered what else I was going to find on my travels that day. Begonia's birthday, 4th birthday, while she sleeps at home. Not even I, Psychic Betty, could have predicted, with all the luck in the world, that it was going to be an Alessi Designer Fat Man Folding Cake Stand by Michael Vanders. I clocked it the minute I walked through the next charity shop door, next to the last stop, next to the supermarket. It's a brilliant charity shop, and it's run by a fantastic saleswoman. You never leave empty-handed. To be honest, I didn't know the importance nor the value of the piece, but I did pick it up, and generally that means that you've bought it in that shop in the most wonderful way. I also found a pair of Nordstrom yellow star-shaped ceramic plates made in Italy. Hang on. Hello. Oh my God, look at them. So all the while she's in bed at home in her birthday coma, I'm out finding the most perfect setup for our chicken and cheesecake party. The made in Italy and the registration mark that's stamped in there. And then there's one for Nordstrom made in Italy stamped on top. They want to really make sure you know that is made in Italy. And there's no doubt about it. There it sat on a top shelf, and I just reached up the arm and picked it up, and you do that thing where you always turn it over. And underneath I saw that magic name, Alessi. Marcel Vanders, 2012. So that was that sold. I brought that home and I Googled it. But not before I played with it. So you do that. Oh, it's so smooth. And then out pops that and that. And then you do something. So you lift, that's it, lift and twist. And there you have it. The most beautiful, extraordinarily shiny modern cake stand. Oh my God, it's amazing. So the story is, Alessi, obviously everyone is familiar with Alessi. It became absolutely state of the art de rigueur in the 90s. When I first got my first job in the 90s, it was just kind of the thing you wanted to have in your house. You wanted a Philip Stark designer kitchen item through the Alessi company. What was special about Alessi at the time as a company was that they employed architects to design their homeware. So the designers came from a completely new creative angle, and also the manufacturing process was the most finest quality and still is. So yeah, as I said, Philip Stark was probably the big name that sort of exploded Alessi onto the market and into the consciousness in the 90s. But Marcel Vanders is a Dutch architect, and he just became extremely excited about the idea of working with Alessi apparently, and he created the Fat Man cake stand. The face apparently is based on his own face, but he was sort of fascinated by the traditional styles in the circus, and this was a 2012, one of his first pieces, and then he went on to design and develop a whole range of home goods in the circus style. It's called the circus, and it's everything from canisters, corkscrews, plates, cups, cutlery, absolutely everything. And you can have the whole range. It's amazing. This is amazing. It's like a engineering work of art. Perfectly accessorized by birthday girl. Yeah. Do you like it? Do you like the Fat Man? Yeah. Good girl. So there we go. That was it. I came home on her birthday after, doing my two good deeds, rewarded with this fire. Fabulous. So we had our birthday tea on the plates. She had her chicken and I had my cake. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this back. It's going to take pride of place in the back there. And I'm going to show you some other lovely vintage pieces that I've got that are sort of would be perfect for a little tea party, a little birthday tea party. So here we go. What, can I just say you definitely need a cup of tea and a bit of cake or a packet of biscuits. Pause the video, go and get your little party fare, and then come back and we'll go through it. First up, birthday breakfast. Look at this tea set. Oh my God. I found this in a charity shop way out in the middle of nowhere. Really early on, when I first got George Michael, the first car I had when I got back to England, it was one of my first treasures, and it's absolutely amazing. I'm guessing that that would be for tea, hot water, hot milk, and sugar, or possibly tea, coffee, milk, sugar. Because it's your birthday, you can choose either tea or coffee, or you can have toffee if you like. And they all have this fantastic mid-century L-shaped handle. I had a full set of Joe Colombo clear crystal coffee cups, which had the L-shaped handle, the square-shaped handle. And I got so excited in the shop, I picked them all up and then I couldn't put them down. I'm sort of stranded in the shop asking for help. Oh, they were incredible. I sold them because I was terrified I was going to break one. It was such a find to find the full set. I can only show you my photograph, unfortunately, because I've sold the Joe Colombo cups. But look at them. Look how exquisite they are. And the square handles, they're clear crystal. And Joe Colombo, that for you. Joe Colombo was the ultimate party man. He was a mid-century designer from Italy, and he actually designed a glass that you could hold in the crook of your hand like that, whilst also holding a plate, so you could have your other hand free for smoking your cigarette. He was the madman, as in Mad Men, the TV show. So he designed something that was so cocktail party, it was beyond Mad Men. So you could hold your glass while hold your plate with your nibbles on and still keep your cigarette going in the other hand. What a man. It's stainless steel. It's made in Hong Kong. There's no brand. However, they're all marked 188 stainless steel, Hong Kong. And the sugar bowl has a little inset in there. And when I got home, I was hopefully going through Google looking for a designer. Couldn't find anyone. I think they're probably just like a sort of quality design piece made in Hong Kong for the 50s. and I thought that perhaps I had a replacement tray, because every other photograph I found, they were all together on a round tray, which sort of made sense. It probably, it looked like they should have had a round tray. However, only just yesterday, when I was sorting this video out for you, I checked again on the bottom of the tray, and this is the right one. It's the original tray. It's marked on the bottom, underneath one of the sides. 18 of 8, made in Hong Kong, stainless steel. So I'm thrilled about that. I've scrubbed it up, and the tops unscrew very easily for cleaning, and I just need to put a little bit of food grade or coconut oil on the wooden handles to bring them back to a nice rich colour, keep them healthy. So that's just absolutely divine. Not with the set, but I added it to the set because I think this would make the most perfect mid-century style breakfast tray setup for a birthday person, or even, a luxury bed and breakfast. Wait. Oh, oh, look. Mid-century little eggy plates with a thing for your salt and butter, or to put your spoon, with the original square spoons. Oh my god, how beautiful are these? No maker's mark, but look at that cosmic triangle. Oh my god, I love it. And they fit perfectly with this set. They look like they were made to go together. I would just want breakfast 3 or 4 times a day. So perfect. Breakfast in bed on your birthday. Thank you very much. I'll have an egg. Go from Italy via Hong Kong directly to Thailand to collect your teak mid-century smoked acrylic cake dome. In the most amazing condition. Isn't that fantastic? Look at that. It's slightly smoky. Don't know if you can tell very clearly, but the condition is absolutely incredible. I don't think it was ever being used. There we go, on the bottom there, natural teak wood made in Thailand. Personally, don't need these in this house because no time for covering cakes. Or chicken. I bought this in an antique shop in Brooklyn called The Pig on the Hill, and I carried it home by myself in my hand luggage. Because I'm a maniac. Oh, it was worth it. Honestly, it was worth it. What I did was I immediately put more cake stands in the middle in like a big tier, like a 3-tier tower of vintage glass cake stands. I'm not doing that now because they're all on the top of the cupboard in the kitchen and they all need a wipe. Just have to use your own imagination for that. However, I will give you a slight clue about how that might have looked. A bit like that, but not at all. This is a fabulous thing. It's modern. You can buy them new now, but it's also vintage at the same time. I believe it was designed in the 90s, but I could be wrong. Could be completely wrong. Could have read this wrong. Might have the wrong information, so don't quote me. That this is a German piece by Koziel, it's the company, and it's the Babel 3-tier cake stand. What I use it for is to drape all my jewellery. I just cover the whole thing in beads and chains and throw all my bits and pieces in it on my dressing table. It looks amazing. But it also does something quite funky. Watch this. It sort of folds down, but that's of absolutely no help whatsoever. Get rid of that. Just gonna get rid of that. Hello, love. Hi, birthday girl. Oh, you like cakes? Oh, good girl. I know, love. There's no space for pause, is there? Right, hang on. Well, I've just had a huge revelation. I was going to show you these lovely cheese and cake slices, and then I just quickly Googled one of the names that was on this piece. Absolutely mind blown. I'll go through the cake slices first. So here we have a lovely one, made in Sheffield. I went to art school in Sheffield. A lovely bamboo handled cake slice, very mid-century, possibly into the 70s. Fabulous. I'll have a large, thanks. That's sweet. Teak handled, plain, very sleek, stylish mid-century cake slice. Slightly smaller slice. I'll have 2 slices, please. Thank you. However, very innocent, sitting there minding its own business, keeping itself quiet. Looked at the name, and that says stainless steel Lister Woodcraft trademark. Obviously, it's a cheese knife with a little cheese picker-upper. However, Woodcraft work by Lister unravelled the most incredible story. So I'll keep this story very brief. I understand that not everyone will be as excited as I am about the information. So, in absolute minute detail, a geezer called Lister in the 1800s invented a machine that separated cream from milk, made a few quid, invested that, kept going, eventually ended up specialising in petrol and diesel engines, made more money, focused on that. When I lived on my narrowboat, had a Lister engine, a Lister diesel engine. They were the most highly regarded engines you could get on a narrowboat. It was Lister or nothing. Incredible. And it was an amazing engine. And I just can't believe that I'm connected to that through this little thing. Oh, I love little surprises like that. So anyway, as the guy ended up with I think he got a knighthood or a sort of a national award from the monarchs. I'm trying to keep this really, really brief. And his machines kept, the country and the world going. Did a lot in the war. And then as time went on, they started designing garden implements and tools, especially made out of teak. And then moved on to kitchenware. So from that to this, here we have a Lister teak-handled vintage little cheese knife for my cat's birthday tea party. Honestly, I love things like that. Isn't that fabulous? Who'd have thought the connection? Anyway, maybe it's just me that's excited by that. So, next. Begonia Coconut is not interested in the slightest. Back to the massive cake stand. This has got a deco look, but it's possibly depression glass, made in the 20s or 30s, but also possibly made a lot later to look like 1920s, 30s deco for, like extravagant parties and buffets or what have you. But what is from the 30s is the classic Hazel Atlas depression glass teacups and saucers, and I have a collection of them. So let me get them all out and then I'll give you a closer look. Hazel Atlas was a company that was based in America. 2 companies, Hazel and Atlas, that merged together, based around about the Pennsylvania area, I believe. And In the 30s and 40s and into the 50s, they were the most prolific mass glass producers probably in the world, and it's still popular today. I love it. And this one is, I think it's called the cherry blossom pattern, and it has a sort, you know, that sort of beautiful vintage pink, soft pink hue. I think you can probably see better like that. Yeah, so this one's gorgeous. This one's got handles, so it make a lovely sandwich tray or a cake plate for presenting your birthday cake. This one is a cake plate without handles, and I think this one is called the Royal Lace, but I know all of you will be able to tell me because there are some absolute experts on this glass. It has the roses and flowers, but I think the pattern is called Royal Lace because of the edge design. There we go, there's the cherry blossom. I've got a huge urge to throw it all up in the air. You know the way market traders used to do in the old days, when they used to throw whole dinner sets up in the air and throw it to each other to show off and sell it. I'm not going to do that though. Right. Actually, I might have 3 designs in here because I've just found some more in the cupboard. I was confused. I thought I had more saucers, and I do. So what I've got is, I think this is the Royal Lace, this design, and I have the saucer like that, yeah, and the plate, yep, they're the same, aren't they? Yes. I have the cherry blossom with a side plate, yes. Stick with me, help me. Cherry blossom, yes. Check. With cherry plates. Correct. Royal Lace, I think it's got a little chip. A Royal Lace jug and a little picture thing with the plate. But then I also have this print, which looks like another kind of blossom. So I don't think that's the same as the Royal Lace. I think that's another design. If you can name that, that would be fantastic. Thank you. And I also found, which I knew I had, but I sort of forgot, which is ridiculous because it's nearly the best piece, is this cosmic flying saucer butter dish. That has got the Royal Lace print, I think, hasn't it? Is that Royal Lace? You tell me. Thank you very much. Be grateful for your shared knowledge. So that's that one. There we go. And the thing that is my favourite, these two, they're so deco. I just think they turn the whole thing into quite a luxurious little setup. Isn't that sweet? Well, they've both got the same tops, but you obviously put salt and pepper in there, and you could put a little bit of salt and pepper on your cucumber sandwiches for your tea party. There we go. So that is my truly eclectic, spanning the decades, ridiculous collection of vintage tea party sets. So there we go. I wish I could invite you all around for tea and cake, but I'm not going to. So don't turn up. I won't answer the door. But honestly, I am so grateful. I appreciate it so much that you're subscribed and all your comments that you leave and your kind messages, and that I'm somehow making you laugh. I don't know how that's happened, but I'm delighted about it. I hope I can keep it up. I'm going to try my hardest, so stay with me. I'm glad you're in the club, in the bamboo club. It's amazing. Oh, I just think it's amazing. So, a happy Valentine birthday kiss from Begonia to all of you, and thanks a million. I'll see you all next week. Take care. Bye bye.